This is a painting of Jesus painted by Glenda Green in 1992 when he appeared to her three-dimensionally in her artist studio in America because she wanted actually to paint a picture of him from a vision she'd had, and she was struggling to do this, and so he appeared to her so that she could paint him better. And she also actually bought a sheep that was pregnant with a lamb so that she could have a real sheep and a real lamb also in the picture. And then she wrote a book called Love Without End, Jesus Speaks, about this experience she'd had and the conversations she had with Jesus while she was painting it. Okay, and who am I holding this picture? Yeah, my name's Helen, and I've also had many experiences with Jesus over many years. And one very special experience I had was in July 2019. I wanted to know what exactly happened to the body of Jesus. How exactly did Jesus resurrect? Did this physical body just spontaneously disappear and then Jesus emerged as a spiritual resurrected body, or what exactly happened? I've never been fully satisfied with this idea that the physical body became this resurrected body, or that the physical body became alive again. I find this, from a scientific point of view, hard to believe, although I try to accept many things on faith, but I also like to have logical explanations for things, and I'm just this type of person that likes to get to the root of things. So I've been questioning this for many years, and finally I decided to ask Jesus, what happened to your body? And I didn't know how Jesus was going to answer this, but in July 2019, I woke up at 6 o'clock for 6 days, and felt strongly guided to go to my small room where I do my Bible study every morning and pray, and open the Bible, and I felt very strongly Jesus actually standing next to me. I didn't see Jesus, but I felt a very strong presence of Jesus, like to my right side, and Jesus just started giving me inspirations about where to look in the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And he would be like taking me backwards and forwards from one Gospel to the other. And I mean, I have to say that I have many experiences with Jesus guiding me to things in the Bible. And he's often saying to me, like, read Matthew 28 or read John 12. As I often get inspirations about exactly what to read in my morning Bible study. So this wasn't like a totally new experience, but it was very intense, and things were being revealed to me which for me were totally new. So I had some ideas about what happened to the body which proved to be false. At the end of the week, I got this bombshell. I'm not going to tell you this now and then go back and explain some of the details. What Jesus revealed to me was that Caiaphas, the high priest, organized that the body was taken out of the tomb before it was sealed by the soldiers who were guarding the tomb afterwards. This was completely shocking for me. I had never even thought of this possibility before, but Jesus had spent the whole week going through Matthew, Mark, and Luke, and John and showing me different things. And this was the final, what I call bombshell. I was totally in shock. I was really in shock because I've read theological books about the resurrection. I've read a book by William Lane Craig and another one by Gary Habermas where they explain the resurrection from their research and using the Bible and everything to show that Jesus really did resurrect. But it seems that nobody's considered the possibility that Caiaphas would have organized for the body to be taken out. And William Lane Craig goes into so much detail about everything, but this isn't even raised as a possibility. But Jesus got me thinking, who would have a motivation for taking the body out of the tomb? Well, the argument of William Lane Craig is that nobody would have taken the body because the grave cloths would have been more valuable than the body. So if somebody had taken the body, they would have taken the grave cloths. He seems to think the only reason for taking the body would have been like for money. Didn't consider the possibility that there might be other reasons. And what I was led to see was that Caiaphas was very angry and upset about Jesus's body being laid in this expensive tomb. And even William Lane Craig says this was a special type of tomb called a bench tomb, which was really just for very rich and important people. And we know from the Bible that Joseph of Arimathea, whose tomb it was very rich, because it says that. So you can imagine, can't you, how Caiaphas would have been angry about Jesus, who he considered to be worse than a criminal, being laid in this expensive tomb. Don't you think he would have also been worried that when people came to visit the tomb and saw the state of Jesus's body, the Jesus who they loved, who'd healed people and done miracles and who was just loved by everybody, don't you think they would have been terribly angry and upset with the high priest, Caiaphas, and the chief priests when they saw the state of Jesus's body? Because not everybody would have been at the scene of the crucifixion, which took place at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I think that Caiaphas was worried about this becoming a kind of a holy place, like a pilgrimage place. And William Lane Craig says this also, that the tombs of the prophets were very well looked after and were very important for the Jews. And even Jesus says, in one of the Gospels, you adorn the tombs of the prophets, and yet it was your forefathers who killed them. So this would definitely have become a pilgrimage place, and this is not what Caiaphas wanted. He wanted the whole memory of Jesus to be eradicated. Didn't want there to be any followers of Jesus after he'd managed to get rid of him by having him crucified. But what Jesus showed me is that Caiaphas couldn't take the body out himself or get any priest to take the body out, because it would have made them unclean. Especially on the Sabbath, they couldn't possibly have done that. So they needed non-Jews to take the body out. So this was the plot. That Caiaphas went to Pilate, as we know he did, because this is in Matthew's Gospel, and he asked for soldiers to guard the tomb. He said so that the disciples wouldn't steal the body. Do you think he was really worried that the disciples would steal the body? I mean, somebody who murders someone can also lie. I think he was lying. And he needed Roman soldiers to take the body out. And the plot was then that the Roman soldiers would guard the tomb, and any disciples who came there would be arrested. So it says in Matthew's Gospel that the chief priests and the high priest the chief priest and high priest were there on the Saturday. They were there between the crucifixion and the resurrection to seal the tomb. What Matthew's Gospel doesn't say is that they took the body out before they sealed the tomb. Well, Matthew didn't know that, so that's why he didn't write it. And when the women came on the Sunday morning, Jesus let me know that he was seeing this. He saw the women on the way to the tomb, and he knew that the guards had been given instructions to arrest everybody. And he knew that a terrible fate was awaiting these women when they went there. So he had to do something to frighten off the guards. So he had this angel come down like lightning, and the stone rolled away from the entrance to frighten off the guards, which was very successful. So they ran off, and interestingly, they didn't go to Pilate to say what had happened. They went to the high priest. This is in Matthew's Gospel. Yeah. So, and then they received this bribery money to say that the disciples had stole the body, because they had to give an explanation of what had happened to the body. They knew the body wasn't there because they'd taken it out. Yeah, some of you may be feeling shocked about this. Others may be simply in disbelief and say this is not possible. But I believe this is real, and there's a lot more detail I could give, but I can't give this all in one video, so I'll probably make another video later. Okay, I hope this was interesting for you, and please do read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and check this out for yourself.